It's time for a blues ride, and that would be a Beta blues ride, or a Beta blues ride for North Americans. And of course, if you are European, it is correctly known as a Beta blues ride. Today there's no slow technical riding. We have done so much of this lately, we thought it was time to just do some easy flowing tracks for a change. And it rained so much, we decided to do a long drive to an area that is normally very dusty, so we don't bother riding there. Now to the Beta Blues. I recently did a video about main bearing failures in late model Beta 2-strokes. I had a long and serious think about that video first, as I am aware it could damage Beta's reputation. In fact, I spoke with quite a few dealers and other people first to make sure the video was warranted. The problem? Well, when a problem like this becomes evident, most manufacturers will at least issue a service bulletin to their distributors and dealers, making them aware of the problem, which VIN numbers are affected, whether there is a recall, and will it be fixed outside of warranty. But apparently, Beta head office has remained quiet on this, so distributors and dealers are scurrying around trying to find out what's wrong by themselves. And unfortunately, I have had a pile of further main bearing failures reported since I released that video. Personally, I think Beta is now a big enough brand that they should be acting as most manufacturers do. So I did not produce that video about main bearing failures on a whim. It was because I think if the factory won't acknowledge the problem, then we need to make ourselves aware of the issue. Look, I understand manufacturers wanting to stay quiet about problems and hoping they will go away. But as we discussed in our recent vid about KTM recalls, at some point, it just makes sense to publicly admit you stuffed up. All manufacturers make big mistakes at various times, but how you handle it is what sets you apart. We have 4 Betas in our riding group, which have been trouble-free and great to ride. Ben has over 200 hours on his 2018 model and loves it. Apart from this main bearing issue, the 2-stroke engines are superb. And despite KTM overhauling their engine design, I keep hearing that guys have ridden both and still feel Beta has the edge with its excellent power delivery. But unfortunately, quality control appears to be a serious issue. Discussions with many dealers suggests Beta has always been a bit sloppy compared to other manufacturers, but it apparently got worse the last 2 years. And while most of the issues have easy fixes, some have been serious, such as the poor quality anodizing on the fork internals of the racing edition models. And in some countries, it took a long time for dealers or distributors to acknowledge the problem and then fix it under warranty. One more thing, as expected, the video about Beta main bearing failures resulted in various comments such as, well, you should have bought a Japanese bike. That is just blind brand loyalty. If you dig deep enough, you will find plenty of issues with Japanese bikes. Yes, their electrical systems generally put the Europeans to shame, but their models still have known issues, many of which they don't address. And yes, Japanese bikes are very reliable, but remember they rarely innovate their dirt bikes too. which are mostly still 20th century designs. And of course, plenty of KTM riders responded to the bid, saying, "Well, you should have bought an Austrian bike instead of that Italian shit." Well, same deal. Scratch the surface and you find KTM has made some really bad blunders. Although, kudos to them for constantly innovating. And unlike Beta, KTM are more likely to acknowledge mistakes quickly, do recalls, issue service bulletins, and generally honour their warranties and even fix bikes outside of warranty. Anyway, I'm going to keep exploring the main bearings issue and will report back at some point. Go in peace, my dirt brethren.